Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to my friend Rick, who is not here with us right now.
We're flying solo because it's the day after Christmas. Well, not solo, actually. We have Adrian,
producer number 2.
Behind the computer screen.
It's weird because him and Rick are very similar, right? Just Rick is just, I don't know, 6 inches taller, a foot taller. But forgive me, my allergies are kicking my ass. I am, man. My eyes are on fire. You've been bad
for a couple of days now.
Well, that cedar. Well, then I was working in the yard this morning. I was raking leaves.
I saw you. I was getting dressed and I looked out the window and it was time for us to leave in like 10, 15 minutes. And I see you out there with a rake raking leaves. And I was like, is he really raking leaves right now? One day of doing nothing for Christmas and now you're back out there raking again.
A little bit, you do a little bit at a time, right? A little bit at a time and a little bit at a time and you squeeze it in when you can. I knew I had an hour and a half and I knew that you weren't going to be ready on time, and I knew that we were going to make Adrian wait for us, and I knew
for the record, Adrian, I was ready on time. We were 10 minutes late today not because I wasn't ready on time.
Well, Delilah needed her mac and cheese, so I had to make some mac and cheese for Miss Delilah. But I'm very excited, and I do apologize, Adrian. I don't know if we got our sponsors in last week.
On the live Christmas podcast. That's right. Oh my goodness.
But I hate that because I absolutely love Aztec Chevrolet. Aztec Ford and Goliad, and Uvalde Chevrolet in Uvalde. So give those guys a chance if you're thinking about buying a new car, even ordering a car, within reason, they will deliver the paperwork. They will deliver the car. You don't have to live in Uvalde. You don't have to live in Bevo. You don't have to live in Goliad. If you want something, tell them what you want. Go look at the website.
Yeah.
They'll bring you the paperwork. You sign, initial. Here's your car, and boom. Front door delivery service.
People are going to be so upset that you're like sharing this piece of information. They're going to be like, you mean I don't have to go to the dealership?
You don't have to go to the dealership. And then of course, your dad this morning, I'm pouring my coffee and I'm like, what the fuck? This is not.
Oh my God. I know you had already made yourself a cup. He'd already had
it was all water.
I went to go pour it in my cup. I was like, this looks like tea. What is coming out of the coffee pot?
Well, he just started brewing. So whatever coffee was left over in the thing, that's what he brewed. So, Old Talk Coffee, Trevino 10.
Well, we tasted it and immediately knew it was not right. We were like, no, this is not our Old Talk Coffee.
Pick Cherries.
Yes.
Yep. Raw Western. Gotta love them. We're doing great. So, lot of cool things going on. Our friends at Rebecca Creek. That's the whiskey I've been sipping on lately is Rebecca Creek, and it's absolutely delicious. But with that being said, what a great episode with Bill Goldberg and Wade Bowen. Oh, my goodness.
The Christmas podcast was so fun. I haven't had a chance to read all the comments on it. Have you?
I've read a few. It's hard because, you got some viewers on YouTube. You got some viewers on Facebook. You got some, all the viewers are scattered everywhere. So it is hard to read all the comments. Yeah. But a lot of positivity. They said we felt very natural.
Oh, yeah?
Which is nice. I've gotten to know Bill, so it's easier to
I think he felt more comfortable with us this go round and like knew what he was getting into. Last year, like no one really knew what they were getting into, guest wise and even us. And so this year it was really fun because we were like, all right, we've done this before.
It was awesome. And Wade Bowen, I had met him briefly through our friend Randy Rogers and just kind of in passing. And when I did Randy's golf tournament, I had a chance to chat with Wade and just, man, easy to get along with.
Yeah.
Super witty, super funny, super laid back guy. Man, I've really hit it off.
Well, I think that's what I was most surprised by is when you said, Wade Bowen was going to be a guest on the podcast. I was like, great, and another adding music to the live event and what we do is always a nice addition. But I was so surprised by how funny and how witty he was.
But when he sang Who I Am, it literally took my breath away. And
first verse, when he started singing live, I was like, whoa. Like I heard his music, I'd heard his songs, but I had never seen him perform live. And I had no idea. I know this sounds terrible, but like I had no idea he was such a vocalist. And to be sitting there just a few feet from him singing that song. Yes, his voice.
It was amazing. So big thank you to Wade Bowen. And guys, please give him a follow. Check out his music. He has an entire catalog of just beautiful music. And
both Wade and Bill, that they're both just willing to jump in on this with us and do the podcast and raise money for a charitable event. They were not paid for their time.
No, not at all. And we thank them and we appreciate it. And it was just another great event that we were able to do. And
I just feel so stinking lucky that like we're able to do something fun in our community, the community that we live, and like bring a fun, cool event and raise money for a good cause. Like we get to do something that we love, sitting down together anyway with friends who are talented and great personalities as well. And that people here in our town and the surrounding area buy tickets to like come and support.
Well, a lot of the people too are, our friends, our family, right, that show up and have continued to show up, and we just appreciate them, and it is making a difference, and we are doing something, Helicopters for Heroes. We're really working on something very, very special, and I can't talk about what we're doing, but we really are. We're going to start to hyper focus on a certain issue for veterans.
Yeah.
So I will make that announcement as we move on. And, that is an event. Then I am going to be performing a VIP dinner barbecue at the San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off.
Yeah. So can I explain what that is? Because like as someone who doesn't know that world, when you were like, hey, come check this out, I was like, what am I getting myself into? I didn't realize. So the San Antonio Rodeo is like a big rodeo event, the fair and all of that. Well, it's almost kind of like at the very beginning or before the rodeo even kicks off, they do a barbecue cook-off competition.
And you have to rent your space, and you put a big old tent out there, and everybody does kind of their own thing. And a lot of it is tied to charity. So we are going to partner with Rebecca Creek. We're going to put all these tents together. We're going to set up a stage. I am going to do a private performance for anybody that wants to go, because all the proceeds go to Helicopters for Heroes.
But you buy a plate, you buy a table. How does it work?
It's $200 a ticket, but you get a show from me, you get a musician, you get all the free barbecue that you can eat and taste, all the free drinks, because Rebecca Creeks and Tito's is giving us all the free drinks. So it's just kind of a really cool event. So I'm super excited. All the proceeds go to Helicopters for Heroes. Again, doing an event where we get to hang out.
Yeah.
And we get to do something super cool, So I'm super excited about it. But, somebody did say, they're like, oh, I love the Wade Bowen podcast. I love the Bill Goldberg. But we were looking forward to hearing what your plans were for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So this year was interesting.
Well, so your family every other year does a Trevino
side.
Eve. Yes.
We do every other year.
Right. A big party. But I feel like because of COVID, and then, I don't know, did people get sick? Or maybe it was, I don't know what it was. I just feel like we haven't had a big Trevino Christmas Eve in a while,
because
right?
It was COVID, and then everybody was like, well, we're just going to stay home with our family. And then the next one was, well, we're all going to our in-laws. So now we finally caught back up.
We're like back on track.
But it's hard because, the Trevino side is very rowdy.
Yes.
It's very, very, we're very.
It's fun. It's a good time. You guys all have a sense of humor.
Everybody's laughing, talking shit.
A lot of big personalities.
Big personalities. We're flipping off the camera for our family pictures.
I know. I was looking at that. Here Delilah is like standing right in front of you, and you and all your cousins are flipping off the camera. And I'm like, come on, guys. And the two youngest girls, Delilah and Sophia, are in the front row.
But we like to drink. We like to do everything in excess, right? But this year we couldn't because it was Christmas Eve, and then we both wanted to wake up in our home.
Well, it always happens on Christmas Eve.
We need to move it. So we can all get rowdy.
I don't know. I think you might face an uphill battle on that one. I mean, I get why it's Christmas Eve because everyone wants something to do on Christmas Eve, but it's hard because my family tradition, like you talk about the great memories you have from that, and yes, it's beautiful. Our battle is always, my family tradition on Christmas Eve was, I remember growing up and we all got dressed really nice and we went to Christmas Eve Mass. And when we were younger, it was like earlier and we did the Christmas pageant. My brother and I were in the Christmas pageant. And as we got older, then we did midnight Mass. And to me, like, we're celebrating the birth of Jesus, right? So
but we went to church. We went to church at the 5 o'clock. And I'm glad you brought that up because I spent so much time in that church, growing up, that was our church.
Yeah.
You know, it's still my parents' church. My mom is
my folks too.
My mom is a big part of that church. You know, my family, I'm proud to say that my family brought the very first Catholic church to Portland, Texas. My family is the one that donated the land and brought that church.
Yeah.
So the Trevino family has been in Portland, Texas since the 1800s. And they brought
it that way.
So at first they would bring in a priest. They would have a priest come in and they would open up somebody's house.
Yeah.
And then they built the chapel, then the church. So that church is very, very personal to me and my family, and I grew up in it. They say you cannot go home. And it's true. You can never go home, right?
It's not the same. Time changes.
Things change, and it's just not home. But, you know, standing in that church with that backdrop and all the familiar faces, it felt good. And I was really glad that I went to church. And I was glad that we went as a family. And there was just a very nostalgic, very comfortable feeling.
Yeah.
You know, where you're there and you're like, God, man, I spent so many days volunteering at that church, going to religion class at that church. I mean, just all my childhood. You know, my grandma, because that was our land. My grandma lives literally across the street.
Across the street, yeah.
Literally across the street, right? My aunts, my uncles, they all lived there, right? So, I don't know. It was really special. It was really special.
To pause and do that for an hour.
To pause and do that for an hour with my family. My mom came, and it was just great. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it.
Garrett did good. Delilah was a little wild woman because we were in the back, so she wasn't stuck in a
She's
pew.
yelling, Jesus! I love Jesus! That's what she would yell. I love Jesus! And then people would
say amen together in unison, and then Delilah, amen!
Amen, Jesus! Love Jesus! And it was the cutest thing. We're doing Jesus! That's what we're doing today,
I need
Jesus!
to go to the restroom!
But it was great. It was just so much fun to be with the Trevinos and hang out. I was just bummed because, you know, we like to drink and we want, you know, I would like to get rowdy with them.
Well, I had said I would drive. I mean, that's what I thought would happen. I thought that you would end up getting rowdy with them and I would drive back because we decided that we would do the party and then drive home because we wanted to wake up in our own beds.
But again, you know, that's the hardest part about adulting, right? And trying to be a good man. I do not drink unless I don't have any responsibilities the next day.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew that I am a better driver than you. No offense. I know that you get tired.
We were in the big SUV.
I know you get tired.
Yeah.
You get tired. So I had to do the right thing. And the right thing was to not drink. And you know, I think a lot of times, you know, what is the right thing to do? You know, don't get me wrong. I want to get rowdy, right? I want to get drunk with my cousins if I had a place to stay. If everything has to be set up right.
I mean, we could have stayed. We could have had a place to stay. We could have stayed, but my kids are little. Our kids.
No, I don't disagree.
Our kids are little, and there's something about waking up in your own home on Christmas Eve. And Garrett actually asked. He said, "Mom, like, what's the plan? What are we doing?" And he said, "I want to be in my house for Christmas Day."
I agree, and I definitely. I mean, look, either way, we went out there. We had a good time with the Trevinos. We got there early. I helped him cut the brisket and the sausage. And, oh, my God, Adrian, he made this brisket, dude.
I didn't taste it. I just had the sliced brisket.
I'm doing one.
I had the backup brisket.
And I don't know where he learned this, but he took a crock pot, not a crock pot, a roaster, dropped the brisket in it, and took one of those big cans of jalapenos. You know, the big ones, the Ricos or whatever, dumped it on the brisket, cut up 2 onions, dumped that in there, and then just cooked it at 250. Holy shit.
Okay, so
dude.
is this, he put the brisket in uncooked, or had he like smoked the brisket and
uncooked.
then moved it over? Okay.
Just the jalapeno juice, the jalapenos.
Well, then anyone could do that.
That's what I'm saying right now. That's what I'm saying. Dude, it's a crock pot meal. But holy shit, was it delicious. Right? With it. Oh my God. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. So I definitely got to do that. But I mean, it's good. It's just fun. I always tell the story, you know, for our family, you know, as soon as the grandparents pass, that's when the family kind of does their own thing.
Yeah.
Right. The family all gets together because where's mom? Where's dad? We're all going over there.
Yeah.
Right. And then when they pass, you just kind of, you know, so I really felt for Monica and Pat because, you know, I this is the first Trevino Christmas that their mom, my aunt, wasn't able to be there, you know, and there was a moment when they were like, all the siblings, you know, take a picture.
I didn't realize till they got in front to take the picture. I was like, wait a minute, there's only 3 this year.
Yep. So that's got to be tough.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you sit there and you go, man, I have to enjoy every moment because, you know, my parents are not getting any younger and we're not getting, you know, so.
And I wonder the next generation, like, we have some of the youngest, our kids are some of the youngest out of your family, but like your sister's girls, her oldest is going off to college. You know, you talked about Pat, Monica, their girls. We've got one, you know, they've got some in college. They're going off to college. I don't know that generation will continue the Trevino Christmas tradition.
Think so. But dude, here's the Trevino family. So the white elephant, you know, there was a big old argument about let's be more creative. Not everybody needs to bring a bottle.
Because
right?
we would do a white elephant and unspoken
90% was a different liquor bottle.
Or something that was being regifted.
Yeah. Like it was always. So there was this big argument about like, well, don't bring liquor. Let's try to be more creative, right?
So then instead, everyone ended up bringing lotion, body wash, and scented hand sanitizer.
Right? But then every gift that was open, the whole family would go, it's a dildo. Like everything. I think it's a dildo. And then they'd be like,
you could use it as a dildo.
It's lotion and a dildo. Like, dude, it was like that's our family. Like, I mean, and nobody's looking at us like stop or I mean, the adults are yelling it like, oh, that's a you know. And then one of the gifts was a foot massager. It's a big dildo. Like, dude. I mean,
I think that was one of the most coveted items, the foot massager.
But there's just something like being uptight. You know, you meet these people and they're uptight, man, and it's like, you know, life is too short. Have fun. Yeah. That's what I love about my family.
Your family's really good at that. They don't take anything too serious.
Nothing too serious. Nothing
even
personal.
In the serious, they find a reason to make it lighthearted and make a joke out of it. And I think that's a survival skill. It really is.
Well, you know, and you know, that's where my sense of humor came from. Yeah. You know, and then both sides, my mom's side, they're funny.
Well, your mama's funny. I don't know if it's all of your mom's side, but your mama's definitely funny.
I don't think I could, you know, people sit there and they go, well, you know, somebody's going to complain on this podcast. You know,
because we said the word dildo.
Because we said dildo, right?
Well, we haven't dropped an F-bomb yet. Give us a little credit.
Earlier.
Oh, I missed it.
But you know, it doesn't mean we're not good people. It doesn't mean that we don't go to church. It doesn't mean that we don't do charities. It doesn't, you know, it's this idea that like, I don't understand this uptight world.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. I don't want to live in it. We have so much fun in our family and we joke around so much and everything is a joke. Everything is a laugh and everybody's trying to top the next person and the next person and it's just fun. And I you know, I don't understand or I couldn't grow up. I
learned that from you and your family. Yeah. I think once you see it and you experience it and you go through the ups and downs of life and you watch how people navigate it with that sense of humor, you really learn to appreciate the value of it.
Adrian, did you grow up, was it stale at your house or was it funny?
Everybody was funny. We were bullshitting all the time.
Talking shit, right?
Each other.
Yeah.
I mean, my cousin would stick jalapenos in my mouth as a joke and tie me up. So that was
brutal.
Yeah.
But you know, and I don't want to live in a sanitary world, and I don't want to live in a world where you can't joke.
Yeah.
You know, and I also think that, you know, that's what's so important about when I get together with the Trevinos is that there is no
That comfort level is there. That innate comfort level. Just jump in and play.
And the sad part for me and you is that we've gotten to a place in our career, in our lives, that we're constantly being watched.
Well, I was going to say there's a little bit of feeling like hyper scrutinized.
We're definitely hyper scrutinized, and people watch everything that we do, and if I do something, people are watching. Yeah. I heard Shaq. Shaq goes, "You will never see me drink in public." He goes, "I drink."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm not telling you I don't drink."
Yeah.
He goes, "But you will never see me drink in public because everybody's watching. Everybody has something to say. Everybody wants to tear you down."
Yeah.
And it's just sad.
Well, when I definitely feel that. I feel like and I know you've noticed it, you're like, you're not fun anymore. But like in the last couple of years, it's very rare that you see me have a little too much to drink.
Very rare. But me too. Like I'll get drunk at home or whatever. I'll have a good time. But again, I also will not be drunk in front of my kids.
Yeah.
So that's one of my rules, is that I do not get drunk in front of my kids.
Yeah.
I wait for them to go to bed, then I get shithoused. But there's things that I have to do because people are watching, and the sad part is that me and you talk about all the time, as much as we want to be normal, we're not.
Yeah.
We're just not. And I'm in my flip-flops and my tank top and my shorts, and the problem with people is you have two types of people. You have the type of people that go, good for them, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then you have the people that go, fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them, and they're trying to do something nice for the school because they want something. Not because they're nice, it's because they want something.
Yeah.
Or Garrett plays shortstop because Steve is who he is.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, but that's why we always talk about, me and you, that our kids are going to earn everything.
Yeah.
And our kids are going to be super polite.
Yeah.
And we're going to teach them humility.
Yeah.
And we're going to teach them to be generous.
Yeah.
And I think they see that in us.
We're also trying, you know what? I read this and I wish I knew the name of the book because I read it last night. Garrett, actually, we were doing bedtime with Garrett last night, and you said, you were going to put him to bed, and I came in and I said, I'll cuddle with him. And then you were like, okay, then you do bedtime. And he goes, Mom, will you read me a book?
I remember,
and you usually do bedtime. So I have not read a book with him in a long time. By the time I get Delilah to bed, I'm just tired. I'm like, son, we're going to sleep, when you're traveling. So he picked this book, and I think it was actually written by a man who spent some time in prison, but there's an adult version of the book. And then they came out with a kid version, and it's something about be a coffee bean. Adrian, do you have internet? Can you look this up? There's a children's book about, it's be a coffee bean or something, because I want to give the right name of it. But the whole idea is
Are you calling our son a bean?
A beaner.
Little racist.
No. But
now somebody's upset. Somebody uptight is upset.
No,
John
but
Gordon?
Yes, I think that's it. Let me see. Show me the screen. How to be a coffee bean. There's a kid's version of it.
What's the point?
But so the whole idea is what kind of talking about this. What made me think of it too is you talking about this sense of humor and how to get through life, and not take it so seriously. But the kid version, it's a little boy struggling in school for multiple reasons, and it tells the hardships he's going through. And the teacher tells him, when you're in a boiling pot of water, right, a stressful life situation, do you want to be a carrot, an egg, or a coffee bean? And the carrot turns to mush, right? Can't withstand the heat in a stressful situation. The egg allows people who are mean or hurtful or do rude things to them to harden their spirit, right? You become a hard-boiled egg. And the teacher tells the boy, be a coffee bean, because a coffee bean takes that boiling water that it's in and changes the water. It changes the water and it turns it into coffee.
Into energy.
And so by the end of the book, there's a whole group of kids who want to be in the coffee bean club, and everybody's welcome to be in the coffee bean club. And you just have to wear a smile and put out that positive energy and affect change in the world. And I just thought it was a really great kids book, and I'm like buying it for several kids.
And I don't know how you teach it, but I am definitely a glass half full person.
For sure, you are.
You know, I always see the positive. I always look for the positive. I always look for, you know, these are the reasons why I should do something.
Yeah.
Right. And I think if you sit there and you look at all the reasons why you shouldn't do something, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never do it. And I think that I would have never been a stand-up if I would have looked at things half empty.
Yeah.
Right. If I would have said, well, shit, man, I got to live in my car. I gotta sacrifice. I got to drive, you know, 1,700 miles away from home. I would have never done it.
Yeah.
But I knew that I'm good and that there's going to be and I'm a hard worker. I'm going to survive and I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
And I just knew it because there's no other way to look. If you look at it like, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
And the odds of me making it are impossible. And, oh, my God, you have to look at things in a positive attitude.
But that comes from a real inner confidence because the way I always verbalized it is I'm a cat. I will land on my feet. Like, no matter what, I trust that I am a cat and I will land on my feet.
That you are a cat?
Yeah.
Oh. That Steve will make sure that I land on your feet. That you land on your feet. But
it comes from an inner confidence of like knowing that you can face things.
Maybe but for me, there's also a driving force inside of me that's like, I will show you.
Yeah.
Because people wrote me off. Because people told me that I wasn't going to make it. People told me that, you know, I'm a stubborn person.
Yeah.
Right. People told me you have no business, you know, doing this. And I'm like, watch me.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me no. Please tell me no.
Yeah.
That's fire for me. And when I talked to, they asked me to speak to a high school.
Yeah.
Right. My entire message is you control you. You decide what your day is going to be like. You wake up, you get motivated, you fucking have fire.
Yeah.
You know, which
you didn't use the F-bomb in the school though.
No.
Just for the record.
But going back to Christmas, to stay on topic because we got a little bit off
topic.
Yes, we
did get off topic.
You know, it is so interesting because, you know, we are so blessed and we have so much. I didn't even know what to get you this year. You know, and you know, you're such a difficult person to shop for.
Particular is the kind word you were looking for. Particular.
So last year I just gave her cash. I'm like, here's some cash. Go buy whatever the fuck it is you want.
You know what?
Right?
That was really nice too. I kept it stashed in my little hiding spot for a long time until I had something I really wanted to buy.
No, but it's so dumb because you have cash anyway.
Well, but still, no, but that's different. Like,
No, stop. You have money and you buy whatever you want.
I don't go make a large, we talk about this. There's like a certain threshold. Neither one of us goes and like makes a large purchase without a discussion.
But so this year I got you nothing. And we were going to go shopping together to get you what you want but I was just going to say that there is something special about where we're at in life where we truly look at each other and go, don't get me anything. Like it is truly all about the kids.
Yeah.
It is all about the kids and let's focus on the kids. Let's make our home beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. And let's make Christmas an experience for our kids. Let's get them, you know, the 3 gifts that they get, right? One from Santa, one they need, and then the fun one.
Well, it's right? 4 actually.
4,
Our rule is a thing you want, a thing you need, a surprise, and then whatever Santa brings you, he brings you.
Yes. So, you know, we really focus on the kids and you know, however, you did get me a gift that we're going to have to get for this studio.
That is a great thing for the studio.
We have to get it in the studio.
I knocked it out of the ballpark this year, Adrian.
Dude, Adrian, I'm wow. I mean, dude, it is a gadget that I was like, yes!
I'm just so tickled that I caught you by complete surprise because I was certain Lori said you like asked her, y'all were looking at the date of something else coming in, and she's like, Renae, he screenshot. Oh, you don't know you did this. I thought you knew. I didn't think you were surprised because Lori said you ordered something for Garrett and you wanted her to like track it or something. So you took a screenshot.
That thing was on there?
And that was in there. And she was like, Renae, he knows. He saw it in there.
Dude, it is, Adrian, it is a 27-inch on a pedestal with a battery tablet. Touchscreen. and you plug it in, it charges, and then you unplug it, it'll last 3-4 hours not plugged in. But it's touchscreen, and it's basically a computer.
Instagram got me. I think it was a hot item this year. There were a bunch of influencers all posting about it. But for me, it was like girls in their kitchen with recipes. And I was like, I don't do that. But my husband would really like it.
I have my stage in the barn for karaoke, and we always use my my tablet on a stool. Well, this thing, dude, you pull it up, you roll it up. I mean, it looks like a karaoke. I mean, it's freaking, we need one for the studio. But yes, Renae knocked it out of the park, and then
because we could have it here. I didn't think about it, and we could move it.
Well, no, we're gonna put a big one here. We're gonna put a big one,
a big nice one.
I'm thinking curtains, yes. But Renae and I, we are at a good place in our relationship in our life. Adrian, like you and your wife, did you buy her a gift, or are you guys at the point where it's like, look, tell me what you want?
We typically will get each other like one thing. Usually it's an experience, like concert tickets or something along those lines.
Oh, that's fun.
That where all of a sudden we'll like get each other a concert ticket. This year we did. She bought me like socks and underwear, right? The typical man. I don't buy it for myself, so she gets me the socks and underwear.
My problem with underwear is it takes me forever to stretch out the crotch. And
well, no,
Adrian
said experience, and I was like, oh yeah, I love that. Like, I love the idea of experience, but I tried to do that for you when we stayed at the yurt. Steve does not like experiences.
But you need socks and underwear. There is a time in your life where you're like, fuck yeah, man, I got socks and underwear.
I actually do need new socks. I almost bought socks for myself this Christmas to stuff in my stocking because I really do need socks.
So SNL has not been funny in a very, very long time.
Don't say that. Didn't you do a whole thing about how few Latinos have been on SNL a couple episodes
Maybe that's
ago,
why it's not funny.
And how you want to be on it?
No, I just want to be on it just for the fact to be on it. But as you know, SNL has not been funny in forever. But a couple years ago, they did that.
Kristen Wiig.
They did the Kristen Wiig one where she's like, and I got a
robe. The mom, like all the Christmas magic, all the work she does over the holidays.
The dad was like, I got the coolest thing ever, and I got a robe.
I got a robe.
It was really funny. So
it is good. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch the clip on YouTube.
Yes,
Kristen Wiig, I got a robe.
But yes, we did have a wonderful Christmas, and for the first time in 20 years, I am not working on New Year's Eve.
Do you know what I was trying to figure out? I don't think you and I, in our relationship together, is this correct, that we have
never
not
spent
rung
New
in the
Year's
New
Eve.
Year in a comedy club?
Yep.
In the history of you and I, we have rang in every single New Year's in a comedy club.
I mean, I will say that with Ryan and Jose and Mike Vinn.
It's always been with friends.
And, would do it at the La Jolla Comedy Store. We loved that.
Yeah.
We loved it because I would do the show till midnight, and then we would all party there at the club.
Yeah.
And then we would do what I called was the first open mic of the year. So then we'd all me and my friends, Don and Jeff, and all of us would go back in the room. Then the door guys would go up and do stand-up, and we'd critique them and laugh.
But the managers and the bartenders were
everybody
our
would
friends.
hang out.
And the Comedy Store in La Jolla is like a smaller black box room. So it's just with a low ceiling. Like, it's just a different vibe. 1 year, do you remember the year? So 1 year on stage, they would give us like party hats and things to make it feel really festive, and they'd pass them out to the crowd. 1 year, they gave Steve a confetti cannon, and the Comedy Store in La Jolla has this beautiful old stained glass ceiling.
Pop! We'll break the glass.
Happy New Year!
Yep.
We're like, oh.
And then 1 year, one of the dudes from the Killers, was it the Killers?
Yes. Was it the bassist or the guitarist from the Killers? He came out and then stayed
and partied with us
for the first open mic of the New Year. And then I think they came back the following year because they had such a good time. They came back again. Yeah.
But I have always worked on New Year's Eve, and this is the first year that I'm like, okay, I had several offers. And that's the hard part about me. I love to work, and it's hard you work your whole life to get this certain rate, right? To where you're getting this money.
Because you did it for peanuts before.
I did it for nothing.
Yeah, with no health insurance, living in your car. I just think that's really, really important.
But that's what I mean. And then so now they're like, hey, we're going to pay you this. Even though I have money in the bank, I'm like, oh my God, like, how can I turn that down? You know what I mean? So it was very hard to turn it down, but Renae and I decided that we will have a New Year's Eve kind of family party.
But
at
I think
our house.
for me, babe, part of that decision was the age our children are at right now. Like Garrett, especially. Delilah's still little; she doesn't know what's going on. But like Garrett is at the age where like he wants to stay up to midnight. He can stay up till midnight. And before the last couple of years, what we've done is we'll all go get dressed and go to work for New Year's as a family, and then the kids. I'll go back.
It a night. Yep.
Yeah, I'll go back and put the kids to sleep in the hotel, and someone will stay with them, and then I will come back and meet you. And Garrett's at the age where like that's not cool anymore.
But that's what's fun about our house, right? Because we're out in the country, so we have the barn. The kids can be popping fireworks while the adults hang out. Because the older you get, the harder it is. When you have kids, the harder it is to have your kids out on New Year's Eve, right?
Or to do something.
Which, by the way,
without
Adrian,
your
hopefully you
children.
guys will come. Hopefully you guys will come. It is potluck, so maybe if you take a brisket, put it in with jalapeno juice, and
And
put it in
onions.
and bring that. But yes, of course, Adrian, you're invited, and we'd love to see the kids and the wife. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting these next few weeks because I am taking them off.
Yeah.
And
that's the other thing. This is the first time we're not in a comedy club for New Year's. And this is the longest stretch you will go without getting on stage.
well, I might sneak
can
over to San
remember.
Antonio and get on stage. Cause,
Yeah. Well,
you
and
know-
I'm also like, is it too late to schedule in a vasectomy?
Dude, you're gonna bring that shit up. We're
We were doing so good. I shouldn't
I
have
know.
said anything.
but we didn't even talk about Vegas.
Oh, because we did straight the live podcast. I love we've gone from
Haven't talked
vasectomies to
about
Vegas.
Haven't talked about the tour bus. Did we talk about the tour bus?
We did talk about the tour bus and the kids having a good time. I
Oh.
think we have talked about that on the podcast. But yeah, you did NFR.
It was awesome. Anyway, do I gotta bring up freaking? I'm all
Vegas.
flustered.
Let's go to Vegas.
I'm all flustered.
Back to Vegas. No, you know what? We've had it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Like this.
And then
this
we
year.
went to dinner with some neighbors, and they've been friends with us for a very long time, and we just haven't had the opportunity to eat dinner together. But we did dinner, and then halfway through it, they're like, "Oh yeah, he got a vasectomy." I'm like, "Really?" I go, "Did Renee get you like?"
I didn't.
Does she
I
convince
didn't.
you?
That conversation came up very naturally, and then now that it's come up naturally, it's just been on my brain because this is the longest stretch that you're going to have off. And before, the excuse has always been like, "Well, I have to schedule it in, and when am I going to take time off?" And
Look, I'm not afraid of getting the snippy snip. It's the three. It's the 3 days or 2 weeks of not being able to do anything.
it's not
I
2
will go
weeks
crazy.
of not being able to do anything. It is if you're a woman, but if you're a man, it's 2 days.
Dude, they were already in there. Why didn't you do it?
It is so much more invasive for a woman to have it done, and the recovery is so much harder. The procedure for a man is literally 15 minutes, and then you have to sit on a couch for 2 days, which I
can't
know
do
will
that.
be really hard
That's
for
the
you.
hard part.
I know that will be really
I
hard
don't
for
look.
you.
Pain doesn't bother me. It is sitting still for 3 days.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
It's not 3 days, it's 2. See, you're making it worse. In your head, you have made it so much worse than it really is.
Have you done it, Adrian?
Yes, and we won't talk about my hematoma.
Oh, see.
Adrian, no!
So next week we need to hook up a mic for Adrian. By the way,
And then next week we're going to talk about Adrian's hematoma
yes,
from
we're
his
gonna get into
vasectomy.
his huevo splash, his poor huevos or his nuggets, like Garrett calls them.
Chicken nuggets.
He goes, "Oh, I just got hit in my chicken nuggets." So funny.
We can talk about Vegas instead.
No, we're not talking.
No,
about it.
I just I think I'm a little nervous about you being off this long.
I am too. Well, I'm nervous because I've
You
already,
don't do it well.
Well, I've already written the hour of new material, and I just feel like when I get back on stage, it's going to be hard to
Jump back in.
jump back in and
Yeah.
and put it all together again.
You should go on stage in San Antonio.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably sneak over there for an open mic,
Like a surprise.
yeah, just
Random.
just show up at the comedy club and see if I can't get on for 10 or 15 minutes to, maybe Adrian will bring a camera and we'll see how the shit show goes.
That'll be fun.
But it should be fun. But you got me all flustered. we were doing just fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I do want to get Wade Bowen and his wife.
I do too. That's what I said. Can we have Wade and his wife on the show? Because he was so funny and charismatic. Like, we haven't had a guest in a while. I would love to have the two of them.
I would love to have them.
I have lots of questions now.
I do. I also have lots of
questions. You have lots of questions?
Well, no. I mean, again, trying to live a normal life.
Yeah, I think he really tries to do that too.
And Wade seemed a lot like me.
Yeah.
He was, very approachable. We were having that conversation. Right. And it was funny because afterwards we did a meet and greet. So then some people would be like, we're just here for Bill, right? For Goldberg.
Yeah.
Can we get a picture?
I've got my little, my monito, why can't I think of my action figure?
My action figure. Yeah. Can I get a, I just want a picture with Bill, and that doesn't bother me. Right. And what was crazy is me and Wade would step aside and we'd both be like, sweet. Like, let him take the picture. Yeah. Right. Both of us had that. Like, doesn't bother me. As a matter of fact, I'm like, great. You want to take a picture of him and not me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. No problem. And then, Wade was like, man, we both have other friends. And like I told him, I go, I love being a stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. I hate being famous.
Yeah.
And he goes, same here. I love being a musician. I hate being famous, right? Yeah. However, there are other people that love to be famous and hate that they have to be a musician or a comedian, right?
Really? That's what got them there in the first place.
Not that they hate it, but they love the fame side of things.
Well, who doesn't like being treated nice and getting upgrades?
That part's good. I think
it's like, who doesn't like that?
Ben Affleck
Mr. Trevino, would you like to go up to the box? Yes, I would.
No, Ben Affleck said it the best. He goes, fame has brought me nothing but good reservations.
Oh, really? That's a Ben Affleck quote?
Ben Affleck goes, being famous has not brought me any value to my life other than a good reservation, an upgrade.
Yeah.
Being famous is hard. And I'm not even that famous.
Yeah.
I'm not even that famous.
Yeah.
Give us an update on the special. You're editing?
We are editing the special. There is a first rough cut. It's not color corrected and the sound is not right, but now we will go in. Rick has already put it in an order.
Adrian,
where
have you seen
tweaked.
It? I've only seen a second or two.
The intro. I think, right? That's all you've seen. Yeah. So we're at the point where we've taken what we think is because we filmed 2 different shows, or we filmed 3, but your stand-up, we have sound and everything from 2 different shows. And we've picked the best of which bit we like from each show, and we've put it together. Now, next week, I will sit down with Rick and we'll really go in and fine-tune it. Too much of an audience shot there. I'd rather be on Steve. Let's get it. We had 9 cameras filming you that night. It looks amazing. So we have the beauty of it is that we can go and say, no, I think that I want him to be on this angle when he says that line, or I want this angle for that punchline, those kind of things. And then there will be reasons why things don't match, or someone's walking in front of the angle we want, or whatever, that we might have to rework things. But
it looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful. And your set is so good.
I'm excited about it.
Your set is so good. You do this relatable. No, sorry, not relatable. Relatable was the first one where I was like, holy cow, this is a comedy special. But Till Death, even though it was more simplistic in that we filmed in a barn and, not a big theater, Till Death for some reason has been my favorite special so far.
I Speak Wife.
The material.
Because I talk about you wrecking my truck.
I was so glad just to get that on film so I didn't have to hear you and see you say it live every weekend, every time I saw a show. It's can that joke die, please? But this one is my new favorite for sure.
It's very exciting. And I have not seen a lick of it. As a matter of fact, I went in the restroom and Renae was doing her hair or something, watching it, and I was like, turn that shit off.
Yeah.
I do
I was getting dressed to go film the live podcast. And so in the restroom while I was doing my hair and makeup, I was like, because I want to live with it a couple of times. I want to watch it a bunch to make sure that the notes I have the first time are still the notes I have the second and the third and the fourth time.
I would send I would love to hear what Adrian's thoughts are on what you got, how far you guys have gotten.
Yeah.
You know, again, I like to let people do their job. Do you like to do that?
I like to nitpick, so it's a good thing that nitpicking is my
Renae
job.
likes to tell everybody she's not in any of it, but she tells everybody what to do. It's amazing.
Hush.
I forgot to tell you how beautiful you look.
You're gonna be nice to me.
Well, no, because we're wrapping it up, and I want to tell you that you look like a hot teacher.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You look funny. I don't feel tardy. You don't even know what that reference is. All right. We love you guys, and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. When we
Yes.
come back, it's like a new season. Is it season 5 that we're coming back for?
See the positivity in life. God is good all the time. See the positivity.
Aww.
Be a glass half full person.
Be a coffee bean.
Be a coffee bean. Life is wonderful. Life is what you make of it.
An old salt coffee bean.
An old salt coffee bean. Wow, Renee's really trying to freaking. I'm over here trying to motivate. But enjoy life. Don't be so uptight.
Oh.
Get over yourself. Get over it. Don't complain. You don't need to be the person that freaking, I'm going to report you. You don't need to be that person. Don't be jealous. Don't let jealousy not be a part of your life. Jealousy is gross. Jealousy is sad. Do not be jealous. Be happy for people. Encourage people. Be around people. Be a coffee bean. Be around people that you admire. If you're with people that you admire and people are where you want to be, you will also be there because you are encouraging, because you are positive, because you are around positive people. If there's negative people in your life, fucking get rid of them. Get rid of them. Move on.
Is that your New Year's message?
Yes, that's my New Year's message. Glass half full, not half empty. Positive energy. Loving life. Realizing that you're going to die and that tomorrow is not promised.
Yeah.
Live life to the fullest. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas from the Trevinos.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
We
Happy
love
New Year.
you all so very much. We are nothing but love. Nothing but hugs. And nothing but jalapeno brisket.
And coffee beans.
Bye, guys.